All right, folks, welcome on back here this Wednesday, December 16th, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Welcome on back here for our afternoon meeting. Let's get a quick sound check just to begin. I should be good to go on both sides here, Facebook Live, YouTube, and alongside that, our trading room. Great to see everybody, though. Mike, Bill, Dan, Donnie, Juan, great to see everybody here. Gary, Stefan, just spoke to you a moment ago. Loud and clear from all. Perfect. All right, Grant's already calling out plug at 2818. Perhaps we'll get to that in a moment. Great to see all of us, though, especially on social media, Facebook Live and YouTube. As I had said, welcome on back. So without further ado, we're going to go through a few things rather quickly. We have class coming up later on today. So for all of us inside the trading room, at least, the Phase 1 Lesson 2 class, we'll be talking all about scanning the stock market just throughout the morning, the afternoon, everything in between. So, for right now, hey, Mankind, MNKD. I joked about this earlier for all of us inside the trading room, and I really mean this. I joke about this. Fausto, I have to give him a big shout out, Fausto and Debbie, for all that they've done for me this year and over the years. But nonetheless, I joked when I had said that Fausto, I felt as if he would fire me if I didn't call this Mankind trade out. This is like his prototypical level 1 stock. He loves Mankind when it ends up moving. So, hey, it is moving. It is moving beautifully right now. So it's on the way up to a 102,000 share order on the ask. You saw pop in and out there at $4. So for the meantime, MNKD, definitely not just for my job security, but for hopefully just for all of us to make money on MNKD. All right, so obviously I was joking about that, but of course, Mankind definitely looking good. Norman picking up 17 cents on Mankind just now. He just got out. He was in from 382. Very nice trade from Norman. Excellent. All right, so, the other news that's out that I did want to, copy and paste, I already did actually. I'm going to pop it up on the streams here. But nonetheless, we just came off the FOMC meeting. So basically, the Fed rates were left unchanged, 0.25%. But there was some, talk about raising the rates over the next few years. So, they had said that one Fed official sees the rates increasing in 2022. 5 of them see them increasing the rates just in early 2023. So with that, we ended up seeing just the big, move up and down across the Dow, across the S&P. So, unfortunately on these Fed days, you always think like once the Fed decision is reached, you're going to see some big move up or down in the market. And it's going to create great action for us heading into 3 o'clock, heading into this, time of the day. Unfortunately, a lot of times I've come off these Fed meetings, I've been left like a little like unsatisfied. Like I was expecting a big move up or down, and for what it's worth, after 2 o'clock, you see some action, but that's it. So, take it with a grain of salt with the move up and down heading into the afternoon so far across the Dow and the S&P. But yeah, for the meantime, hopefully we'll find more stocks like the MNKD trade here. So with a class on the horizon, folks, as I said before, I'll typically just kind of zip through the percent gainers and losers list. Got to start here. This crazy WNW stock. I see Kathleen also picked up some good money just before on Mankind. She got in from 379, picked up 20 cents. Excellent. So WNW, at least here to begin, just got halted 5 or 6 times on the way up, and I think maybe twice on the way down. But that one big one from where it had reopened up from, just imagine getting suckered in at $50 here, and then it reopens up at 35. Literally, I cannot imagine that. Just I've grown to avoid stocks like this, at least at this stage. And if anything, to see a stock moving up as much as this has, it's going to come back down. So I hope nobody got caught up in that trade inside our room. I saw 1 or 2 of us, jump in or out bravely. The NXTD trade, this one's a cheapie. We normally don't follow stocks below $1. We talked about that actually just earlier in our class from this morning. So, nonetheless, with the stock moving as well as this is here at the highs of the day heading into the afternoon, looks like a lot of buying coming in off around 85, perhaps 86. Right now it's at 89, almost 90. So for right now, I don't mind just adding this to our main list here, the NXTD stock. Penny spread, very, good liquidity at every price level you'd imagine. All right, NPAWW. That would lead me to assume there's a regular MPAW. I'm sure I'll find that somewhere here. If not, then I'll probably type it in, but that's warrants. AEMD pump and dump from earlier this morning in pre-market, so no need to go over that at this stage. EQOS, interesting. Looks like the second day in a row in which the stock had made a nice move up. Got halted a couple of times, you can see here. Once here, and then if I'm not mistaken, it looks like right over here, but I'm not too sure. Maybe not. Right here, though, certainly it looks like it did when it shot up from like 7 up towards 850. But yeah, for right now, it looks like it made a second blast up. But at this stage, I'm assuming it's low float. To see this dump all the way back down, I just would expect this to kind of like sink back down or just kind of consolidate. That's it. All right, we'll keep it moving. MDXG, nice pop from earlier today. I think I've seen the stock in the past, but right now, not much going on. All right, so the news out on Tilray, right? We had news out on TLRY, news out on APHA, news of a merger. So I don't know what the updates are to that merger, but nonetheless, the news came out in the after hours yesterday. It looks like so far, I'm reading up on Benzinga Pro right now as we speak. APHA, Tilray CEOs discuss merger, hiring, and quote unquote, no massive layoffs. Yeah, define the word massive there. We'll see what happens in the next few months. But yeah, either way you cut it. TLRY ended up making a big drop off once the market opened, ended up making a solid bounce, but seems pretty flat there. I assume there's going to be layoffs, so that headline's pretty fugazi, it looks like so far. APHA making the same type of move here, bounced at least after the market opened up. Looks like the Dow, speaking of bouncing, making a nice push up here so far. So we'll keep it going from this point. I just wanted to take a look at the pot stocks and the news between Tilray and APHA there. We tend to call them out pretty frequently. All right, let's see. I think my scanner's refreshed, expectedly so. SIOX shortable, it's up 13% still. Talk about a pump and dump. Ended up making a big move yesterday, then pushed up higher in pre-market this morning, and then obviously the dump off here as well. So, this was a screaming short going into the market open. Shortly after the open, it ran up, but then fell back down. So, I don't know how much room is left on the short here for this trade. So we'll kind of skip over it for right now. Man, my scanners are like refreshing every 5 seconds. I feel like I'm just like kind of trying to scroll down here. Just kind of reloading to the top. All right, let's try and go quick. Vuzi up big, 10+% still. It's kind of near the highs. We had said that yesterday this time of the day, right? We said Vuzi pretty much once we finished up the meeting that this was kind of getting the push up towards the highs. It didn't make the big push up higher heading into the afternoon that we were looking for. So, you know what? What's the line? I don't want to mess it up like President Bush did, right? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Got it. There we go. All right. So nonetheless, Vuzi, hopefully that's not the case here, but I don't mind slipping this on our list. Still near the highs, pushed up nicely going into the afternoon so far. All right. RIGL, familiar name. Ooh, popped around like 10:45, 11 o'clock. I guess I missed this one from earlier. Gevo, nice level 1 stock, kind of similar to Mankind, actually pretty slower, a lot slower actually. But moving up nicely, pushing up pretty well here, making a new high up to 216. Looks like you have iceberg orders roughly every 5 cents, 220, 225. I'm sure there's going to be more on the ask at 230 as that builds up. So for the meantime, I mean, it's kind of like watching the grass grow, watching the paint dry, but at least you could trade a lot of shares of it. All right, so folks, if there's anything else that's up, let me know. It does look as if the Dow is making a stronger run here. Hopefully that sticks. Hopefully it doesn't just like pull back and shake around. That's it. Let's hop over to the losers list here. Again, anything else that's up, let me know here in the chat board. TBIO dropping off at the low of the day right now. Big spread, very thin order book, as I would like famously say from class. I say that more so from this morning's class. But yeah, I mean, for right now, it's definitely a level 4-ish, level 5 stock, perhaps even. So for right now, although it's shortable, it's at the lows. I drool over that. I'm going to skip over it for the meantime. This looks much better in terms of liquidity. Both are kind of at the lows between IQ and TBIO, both down for different reasons. But IQ, I think there was an offering on this one, if I'm not mistaken. So, dropped the price down quite a bit. I don't know how much more room there is to go on this, but it is still at the lows, down big. So, this is more of like a level 1 to 2 stock, I'd even say. Put this on our list here for right now. All right, RVP breaking all-time highs yesterday, I think, right? We were saying it dropped back down at least after the market opened up today. Order book pretty empty there. ABUS, familiar name from yesterday and the day before that, dropping back down. That is shortable. Was good to us earlier. XXII, same thing. know Bill just got out of a big swing trade on this one. All right, guys, that's it. I mean, no other familiar names that I see on the loser side, although there are some shortable stocks. You just pick and choose, at this point after going through this, pretty much every day. So if there's anything else that just I missed, I skipped over, perhaps I was ignorant of, let me know here in the chat boards, folks, across YouTube and Facebook Live, as well as the Cyber Group room here. Got from John M, who I'm sucker for Riot right away. I'll turn over to it instantly. You could sell me into Riot almost instantly. With Bitcoin breaking all-time highs, this would be one to watch even where it is right now. You know what, though? You know what happened to these trades yesterday, right? We're going to go back to this, right? Because unfortunately, I'm waiting for the day to be wrong, but going into, 2:30, it was looking great. Well, after we finished up this meeting, it pushed up a little bit, but it really didn't make that type of explosive run up that we were hoping for it to make. By 3:30, it did shoot up a bit, but not that type of push that you would hope to see. So it did break off after the open. It's making a bit of a push up for right now, but I don't want to get drawn into it right now at this time. I'm definitely long-term bullish on Bitcoin and Riot and Mara. So, I am very certain, I don't want to guarantee it, of course, but I'm very certain that these will only continue to go up over time. Maybe they pull back tomorrow and then shoot back up. Who knows? But long-term, definitely. Michael, DraftKings. I saw DraftKings called out a few times today, right? Ended up making a nice push. It's still up over 6%, dropping back down a bit here. But, although it's expensive, it has great liquidity on the books. So I still like where it's at right now. This is a good reminder. So I appreciate the post from Mike. Nice job on the short. Put this on our list for right now, DraftKings. So a blink on my radar earlier today. It's up over 10% at the highs. Wow, yeah. We'll take a look at NEO, all the other EV stocks while we're at it. Maybe that's getting a nice push from the Dow there. But for the meantime, perhaps we'll take a look at Solo. Not doing much. Yesterday, Solo was moving up pretty nicely. XPEV, not much. So I'll tell you, it looks like it's like blink only. I mean, we'll take a look at FCEL, we'll take a look at Plug, but all of the other EV affiliated stocks or EV related stocks not really making that same type of strong run up right now that blink is. So definitely good call. Not right. WWR, I saw here from David. Turnaround off the lows. Yeah, I mean, got to say that is making a pretty strong push. We were looking at this yesterday, do nothing, unfortunately, but that was when Pola and Sun W were making their moves up. We didn't really see much action on that WWR, so we avoided it. I'm kind of a sucker for this trade too. It's making a nice trend off that 445, you should say, up 20 cents so far from that price. I'm going to check to see Benzinga Pro right now if there's any news on this. I feel like if there was, you'd see a bigger pop. Nothing. No news on this here at all today. So for right now, I'll reluctantly pass. I say that because it seems tradable. So David, if you're in it right now, I hope you're doing good. I hope it continues to pop. If it does, call it out for us. We'll try and catch it in time. But I think for right now, we'll start and stick with this list. I like the Mankind trade a bit more. I'm going to have some hope on that Vuzi trade to see that break higher finally. You got the Blink trade, although that's more level 3 or 4-ish. That one's still pretty strong near the highs, and a couple others. All right, folks, and aside from that, we do have class coming up. So time is 2:45 right now, making pretty good with the time here at least. So I'm going to type and tweet the list out to everybody across the board. I got from RJF on YouTube here last week talking about Mara. I mean, yeah, same thing, though, as I said on Riot. Bitcoin doesn't make that big move in the afternoon. Mara seems to be actually holding a bit stronger, or it was perhaps heading into the afternoon compared to Riot. So I've actually been more of a fan of Mara dating back to yesterday than I have been Riot. Again, I'm a sucker for it, right? So if they end up making a pop, if I happen to see Bitcoin make a move up, then I'd be, calling it out. Actually, I will say, if anything here, since we have class coming up for all of us inside the trading room, for those that aren't joining me in class, I should rather say too. I know that Rich is going to be on the mic himself going into the afternoon. He'll provide some call outs to you folks heading into the close. All right. Mike says your TLRY sure had a nice gap up today. Yeah, we already spoke about that one though. So it's dead in the water right now. It looks like not really doing much right now. All right, folks, I think that we're good. So all in all, way smaller of a list today than yesterday, which I'm pretty proud of. So at least we're good to cut it back today, at least. So 2, 4, 6, 7 stocks in total. And then if there's anything else, give the market the next like 10 or so minutes, 10, 15 minutes from this point. If there's anything else, call it out then, scan for it then. But otherwise, this list looks pretty good heading into the close. All right, for all of us on social media here, Facebook Live, YouTube, just first and foremost, make sure that you folks like, subscribe, notify right on our YouTube channel, right there on the bottom, youtube.com/cybertradingu. And then aside from that, feel more than free to join us here Monday to Friday right here in the Cyber Group Trading Room. All right, folks, I'll talk to you all soon. Take care.